Hi everyone, I'm back with another video. I haven't uploaded in a while and I haven't made a video in a while, but I'm hoping that that will change. I want to upload more about books that I've read, kind of reviews and recommendations. I also want to talk a lot more about art and art education since that's something I'm super passionate about. I don't know if many of you know that. I'd love to do like a book tour. I'd love to show you my zine collection. I'd love to do like a studio tour. So I have a lot of ideas for stuff and hopefully I can upload a few more things more consistently. So if you guys enjoy this, I'd love some feedback on what you guys would like to see. Today I'm going to do a review of this book that I've just recently read for the second time. It's called Vito Loves Geraldine by Janice Eidus, or Eidus. I'm not sure how you pronounce her last name since I've only seen it in print. There's a picture of her on the back and she looks really cool. I love her haircut. I wish I could meet her and, talk to her about her writing and her artistry because she just looks like a fun lady. But this book is really special because it's actually published by City Lights, which is a bookstore in San Francisco that's also a publishing house. If you ever go to San Francisco, I highly, highly, highly recommend checking out City Lights Bookstore. It's such a cool place outside of the bookstore, so it's in the middle of North Beach, right in the heart of a really bustling, cool part of the city. Lots to do, lots of restaurants, lots of bars. There's some strip clubs if that's your thing. But then there's this bookstore, and outside of the bookstore there's this light sculpture of all these, like a flock of flying books that all lights up, and it looks really cool. And then City Lights is right there. And it was founded in 1953, co-founded by the poet Lawrence Ferlinghetti. They're most famous for the book Howl by Allen Ginsberg, but they published books by Jack Kerouac. They published books by Charles Bukowski. They published, I think, a Ken Kesey book. No, but one of those guys, Neil Cassidy, that was around, for all the like acid stuff and was friends with Jack Kerouac. So in the 50s and 60s, City Lights was the place to be in the beat scene. So if you like Jack Kerouac, if you like Charles Bukowski, I'm sure many of you do, Allen Ginsberg, poet, Lawrence Ferlinghetti, all of those guys were all hanging out there. So it's really cool, really historical. And so when you go to City Lights, they have a whole shelf of books that are City Lights publication books. So I urge you to check it out. It's really important to me to support local authors, small local publishing houses. So I like to buy exclusively City Lights published books when I go to City Lights. They do have all kinds of other books. It is a regular bookstore, so you could find anything there, but it's really special to support a local publishing house and one that has so much cool history as well. So I originally purchased this book when I lived in San Francisco in about 2010, and I read it back then. I really enjoyed it. I gave my copy away to a friend, and of course you never get it back when you do that. So I recently, when I went up to San Francisco this summer for my graduation from college, I stopped into City Lights and I was so excited that they had this book still, and I bought it again. And the guy at the counter was really stoked that I was buying all City Lights published books. I bought 4 books. And he was also really excited. He told me that they hadn't stocked this book since like 2011. So, and there was 1 copy left on the shelf. And I was telling him, like, this is one of my favorite books, and you guys had 1 copy left. It was meant to be for me to own it. And so it was really exciting. It was kind of like a kismet moment. So I'm really excited to share this book with you. I'm sure you can find it online. I'm sure you can find it on Amazon. But if you go to San Francisco, stop into City Lights, and I would recommend this book. So it's a collection of short stories, which all the books that I bought at City Lights on that particular trip are collections of short stories. I've been really into reading short stories lately because it's so concise, and I like that it shows a range of the author's voice. This book does a really good job of that. Every story is told from a different perspective, a different voice, Some are told from a male perspective, some from a female perspective. There's one from a young girl, like a child's perspective. Some of the stories are written more straightforward nonfiction. Other stories are more kind of surreal and symbolic, and you kind of have to dissect what the stories mean. I'm just going to tell you my personal favorite stories in the book. So I really like the dreaded female locker room talk. The story Safe is another one. Just One Look is a really interesting story. That one is from the perspective of a man thinking about how it feels to be ogled at as a woman. The story A Comb and a Snake is really kind of weird and interesting. And I also really liked Shanna, Sandy, Brenda, Lorraine. So there's 18 stories here, and they range in length from a couple pages to maybe like 20 or 30 pages. So some of them are as short as 3 pages long. So there's a lot of really cool imagery in here. It's all kind of told from that feminist woman perspective. It's really funny. It has a lot to deal with like myths about romance, self-discovery, ways in which women rebel against society and what is expected of us or we're supposed to do. It's definitely at times a little bit dark. It's really inventive. I personally just love the way that each story is told in such a unique and different voice. And there's really something in here that I think is going to resonate with anyone, whether you're a person that likes traditional fiction stories and you like a straightforward narrative, you're going to find a story in here. If you're somebody that's more poetic and you're into more symbology and metaphors, there's stories in here you're really going to like. Also, if you're somebody that likes to think about philosophy and perspectives, there's stories in here you're going to like too. So I just wanted to jump on and give a quick video, just my thoughts on this book, and I highly recommend it. Again, it's called Vito Loves Geraldine by Janice Eidus. If I can find it on Amazon, I'll just link it in the description box if you want to buy it. But again, support small authors, support local publication houses, and if you're ever in San Francisco, City Lights is got to be on the top of your must check out bookstores. I would love to know if any of you from other parts of the country have any small bookstores that you guys recommend, that you guys like to visit when you're traveling, or ones that are maybe in your hometown that are awesome, or if you have small publishing houses in your hometown, would you recommend them? What are they? What kind of books do they specialize in? So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me some comments, and I hope we can have a nice discussion about it. And like I said, I'll be back with more videos soon. Have a good day.